2030 New World Order. How will the next superpowers emerge? As we approach 2030, the geopolitical landscape is undergoing transformative shifts. Traditional powers face challenges, and new nations and alliances rise, reshaping the global order. Understanding how these next superpowers will emerge requires examining economic, technological, military, and diplomatic dynamics. China remains at the forefront of potential superpowers, driven by its remarkable economic growth, expansive infrastructure projects such as the Belt and Road Initiative, and advances in technology. By 2030, China aims to dominate areas like artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and renewable energy, positioning itself as a global leader. However, China must navigate significant demographic challenges, economic restructuring, and international diplomatic relations to solidify its superpower status. India, projected to become the world's most populous country, holds considerable potential. Its youthful demographic provides a massive labor force, fueling economic growth. India's increasing technological innovation, particularly in IT and biotechnology sectors, coupled with its strategic geopolitical positioning, makes it a strong contender. Yet, challenges like infrastructure deficits, socioeconomic inequality, and internal political dynamics must be addressed for India to emerge clearly as a global superpower. The European Union, EU, despite internal complexities, continues to assert influence through economic strength, regulatory power, and diplomatic efforts. By 2030, the EU's leadership in climate initiatives, digital regulation, and global trade could significantly amplify its geopolitical influence. Nonetheless, the EU's cohesiveness, particularly regarding economic disparities among member states and unified foreign policy, will critically determine its superpower status. Russia remains an influential player, leveraging its vast energy resources, military capabilities, and strategic diplomatic initiatives. While facing economic sanctions and demographic challenges, Russia's resilience in global energy markets and persistent geopolitical strategies, particularly in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, sustain its relevance as a major power. The future depends significantly on Russia's ability to diversify its economy and manage international diplomatic tensions. Emerging markets collectively present a significant shift in global power. Countries like Brazil, Indonesia, Nigeria, and Turkey showcase rapid economic growth, demographic advantages, and increasing regional influence. By leveraging strategic positions and regional alliances, these countries could assert significant geopolitical weight by 2030, provided they effectively manage domestic political stability, infrastructure development, and international diplomacy. Technological advancement profoundly reshapes power dynamics. Nations leading in critical technologies such as cybersecurity, space exploration, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing will significantly influence global economic and military landscapes. The United States maintains a considerable advantage, but intense competition from China, India, and the EU drives a relentless race for technological supremacy. Climate change also heavily influences global geopolitics. Nations leading in renewable energy technologies and climate mitigation efforts could experience substantial geopolitical advantages. Countries with abundant renewable resources, like solar and wind, or those successfully transitioning to low-carbon economies, could become central economic and strategic hubs, reshaping global alliances and economic flows. Diplomatic alliances and international collaborations significantly impact the emergence of superpowers. New alliances, such as BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, increasingly challenge Western-dominated institutions, advocating multipolar global governance. The development of alternative financial institutions and economic agreements among emerging powers represents significant shifts toward a diversified global order. Economic resilience and adaptability remain critical factors. Superpower emergence in 2030 will heavily depend on how countries navigate global economic challenges, including inflation, debt management, and economic diversification. Nations demonstrating robust economic policies, diversified economies, and adaptive labor markets will gain significant geopolitical leverage. Military and strategic capabilities remain fundamental components of superpower status. Nuclear capabilities, advanced military technologies, and strategic geopolitical positioning enable nations to exert considerable global influence. Enhanced cyber and space capabilities will also increasingly define military power dynamics, driving nations to invest heavily in these domains. Finally, cultural influence, or soft power, significantly shapes global perceptions and alliances. Countries projecting strong cultural influence through media, education, and diplomacy can effectively promote their geopolitical agendas. Nations with robust educational systems, influential global media presence, and appealing cultural exports will possess considerable soft power advantages by 2030. In conclusion, the emergence of new superpowers by 2030 hinges on multifaceted factors: economic strength, technological innovation, military capability, diplomatic strategy, climate leadership, and cultural influence. As the global order evolves, understanding these dynamics provides insight into future geopolitical landscapes, enabling proactive and informed global engagement.